Finally, turkey season. Turkey season 2019 has officially gotten here. It's windy this morning. It's about 43 degrees, but we're back at the spot that we scouted last Saturday on top of the mountain on the Talladega National Forest at an undisclosed location. We're going to head up here to where we found all those scratchings the other day, and I was looking back through my game trail cameras. I checked the game camera that I had up here, and I had a gobbler, pretty decent gobbler on one of my cameras up here. So we're gonna ease up here on top of this flat ridge, and we're just gonna listen for a little while. It's a little cool this morning, so I may not say too much, but we'll let you know. Oh my goodness, sucker came in silent. He came in silent on me. I dropped all my stuff. He's right there somewhere. He rode off the side of that hill right there. I heard him walking. We had a hen. I was on the other side of this, down off the side of this little hill here where it bends back down, and I saw her fly off, and I had been calling coming up this ridge. Never heard anything gobble this morning. I got set down against this rock and I heard something scratching in the leaves over there. Well, I never called or anything. I was trying to put my GoPro on my head, and I see this red head pop up. I freeze. I don't have my gloves on. I put my mask on because I heard something stirring around over there, and you know, you never know. Unbelievable. Let's go check him out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There he is. And we shot him up there on top. We blood trailed him all the way to here. We could see where he rode down the hill. Like I said, you know, I've hunted here in this area before. I scouted it last weekend. First experience trying to video one. Well, didn't have the camera out, was getting it out, saw that redhead pop up. Didn't have my gloves on. I had put my mask on already. I've been doing this long enough to know how, you know, you keep your mask on your hat, pull it down if you hear anything. So we did that, but I've killed turkeys with my gloves off before. One season on opening day, I forgot my gloves and my mask, and I just had to put my shirt up around my face and pull my sleeves down around my hands. So you just got to do whatever it takes to make it work. This bird never said a word, but let this be a lesson. Don't shoot a bird and not get up and go after it. He was right on the other side of that little hill there where it gets flat on top. He was on top, and I could see his head coming around a dead tree, and I had a hole picked out to shoot him. And when I shot him, he rolled all the way down to right there. So let's go check him out. There he is. There he is right there. Nice. So excited. He never said a word. Never said a word this morning. He's roosted up on top of that hill there, where it flattens out up top, on top of this mountain to the left. That was the direction he came from. At like 8 o'clock, I'd say. Yeah, that'd definitely have to be where he roosted. He roosted on top, close to where there's a little, where I talked about last week, where a bird would probably strut. You know, like a strut zone. You know, there's a little incline up there on top where it flattens out, where it looks like a bird would strut up and down the ridge, because you'd be able to see them a long way. A lot of hens would be able to see them a long way, but he strutted. I was up against the rocks. And I wished I could have shown you this entire hunt, but because it was exciting. But man, unbelievable. This is this place last weekend that I told you guys about, where I come up this ridge here, and I stopped right up there and did my first video, my first scouting video, right up there. You can see my hand, and said that is a multi-scouting video about for deer and turkey. You just got to be willing to put the time in and scout and know where these birds are. Like I said, I had a camera that I checked last weekend on this ridge, down around close to, if you can see where this ridge kind of makes a little saddle, a little dip down there off to the left, about 100 yards. I had a camera, and I had a gobbler on camera. So it may have been this bird here. I'm not sure. All right, we're back, and we're zooming in on, of course, the bird that I took this morning. And I didn't get the shot on camera, and I regret that. But let's take a look at his beard here. I think he's got like a 9.5 inch beard, maybe 10. 2.5-year-old bird, 1 inch spurs. Pretty fan, beautiful bird. You know, when they don't gobble, of course you want them to gobble, and you want to hear 10 gobble every time you go out, but that's not realistic. I mean, especially on public land. But you just got to be ready. You got to be ready for whatever the game that you're pursuing, whatever it presents to you, and you got to be ready for it, and just able to counter whatever I guess your prey is trying to stay alive. So you've got to adjust. But here we've got I got my 3 favorite mouth calls out. That orange one there is a Primos call. I like to use V-cut Primos. Got my State Traditions hat. That's my favorite hunting hat. I wear that deer hunting and turkey hunting. And then of course I've got this is the mask that I use. And then I've got my Woodhaven calls. The brown one, they're both V-cut. The brown one is a little bit more raspier than the blue one. The blue one is a little bit more softer sounding, and like sharp, like a good good mouth call to cut with. And the brown one is good to cluck and yelp with, and purr with that that raspy yelp that you get on a mountain like this. And then there's my slate call, made by Reynolds, a slate switchback ballistic ceramic crystal. There you can see the number on there if you want one of those. They sound good. And a wood striker that I used. But I'll just be honest with you, I really didn't get to use slate this morning very much. Really the only call I used this morning was that raspy brown Woodhaven mouth call. That's the one I used this morning. We didn't hear one gobble, but we called one in. He came in strutting, and we were caught off guard. We didn't have the camera ready, but you know, you learn. Next time I'll have that thing mounted on my head, and I'll have my phone in my hand, and all I'll have to do is pull the app up and connect, and we're off. And I was in the process of doing that, but you know, you saw that red head pop up over that dead tree, and I had to get ready. So basically what happened this morning was I did the same thing I did scouting the other day. Where I come up that ridge, I called, you know, I was listening. I stopped right there in front of the tree stand. I was listening, see if I heard anything gobble. Never heard anything gobble. Just went on up the ridge to where it, up on top, there's some rocks that go all the way across when it flattens out up on top. Well, I went back to the right just a little bit because I anticipated or thought that there might be some birds roosted on the hill to the left. There's a little saddle there on the other side of that ridge in front of me, and then there's a little saddle beyond that. So I thought, you know, if a bird roosted up there, you'd be able to see any hen that flies down on the side of this ridge here. So walking up this ridge this morning, we did see a hen fly off. She took flight and she flew back toward the road down there. But this old boy here, we got set down up against those rocks up on top. I think you can see a rock if you look between those trees. And we heard him scratch around. And so I pulled my face mask down, started getting my GoPro out, started putting it on my my headgear clamp, and I saw his head pop up. And luckily there were some trees between us, a dead tree, and there was some sage right in front of me that gave me pretty good camouflage. And I was up against a tree and these big rocks, so I was camouflaged in pretty good. And just picked a spot out and shot him. It was a lot of fun. They said, hey, this is not exactly how I planned it out, but as far as like where the bird came from, where he was roosted, I knew there would be one in here. I knew there would be one in this area. Didn't know if we'd have a chance to kill him or not, but didn't know if he'd gobble. But I really kind of thought we'd hear one gobble though up here somewhere. We never did though, but that's okay. It's windy this morning. It was kind of cool. It's 43 degrees this morning. You know, opening day. I mean, you can't ask for anything better on opening day, except for maybe hear a few gobble, but that's okay. I mean, we got one. Got one on the ground. So we're happy about that. But walk back down this ridge to the truck and head home, get some breakfast, hang out with the wife and the John Brady and my little boy, and got a little 2-month-old at home. Take some pictures with him and the turkey, and can't wait till he gets old enough to take him hunting. Man, I'm excited about that. But I want him to stay small, but I'm excited to be able to share that experience with him. I love hunting. I love it. Besides coaching and what I do for a living, coaching and teaching, hunting's my passion. This first video is a little rough, okay? It did not go exactly as planned, which, you know, I kind of had an idea of how I wanted to do this, and it almost worked out. Like I said, it almost worked out. That turkey had just given me a few more minutes, or if I'd been in a little bit better shape and could have made it up this ridge a little bit faster. I mean, you'd seen the whole thing on video. You'd have seen him, you know, creeping up beside that dead tree, man. He would hunker down every time. He was strutting, so he was all fanned out, but he would hunker down behind that tree every time he would move. And I had a hole picked out, and I had some sage in front of me, my mask on. I didn't have my gloves on though, and I was shaking. Man, I was excited because the first thing I saw was his red head pop up over that log. And luckily I was being still and sat down, and I had my gun in my hand. Or I had my gun in my lap, actually. There was 2 big pine trees that he had to step in front of that gave me time for me to be able to get my gun up and point the barrel in the direction of where he was standing and where that hole was that I was going to shoot through. And as soon as he stepped in that hole, we let him have it. I didn't run after him right away, and let that be a lesson to you. You know, I shot him with 3-inch. I mean, I don't shoot 3.5. I have a 3-inch choke in my turkey gun. It's the same turkey gun I've had my entire life. It's a 12 gauge Remington Express. I don't know how many. I've killed a bunch of turkeys with that gun right there. My dad gave me that gun. I love that gun. Successful morning for the public land man on public land here in the Talladega National Forest. I'm glad that I'm getting to share this with you guys. I just got the GoPro, by the way. I bought it Thursday, and I had to figure out how it worked and how to use it, and I'm still figuring things out, and still you know, I probably still need somebody to come with me and film these hunts, because it's just a little bit easier. It would have been easier this morning if I just had somebody with me, but you know, that's the way it goes. I'll show you this bird we got this morning one more time. Nice bird. There you see my wood-heavy mouth calls and my Reynolds switchback striker slate call. State Traditions cap. My Remington Express 12 gauge shotgun. Alright, we headed to the house. We had a successful hunt this morning. It wasn't exactly the way we planned it. We did not get the shot on video. Did not hear turkey gobble this morning. The one we killed, one I killed, it never gobbled. He was roosted in a location where we thought he'd be roosted. I think there was a hen also roosted in that spot too, but she flew off, and he was all alone, and he heard us calling, and he came up on us silently, never gobbled. We'll get out and call right here on this hill, see if we hear anything. I'm gonna blow the crow call first to see if we can shock one, and then I may give a couple clucks and yelps. There's only a few times that I use a crow call, and that's if I'm having a hard time setting up on a bird who's gobbling. He's not really coming to me, but he's gobbling. He might have hens with him, and I need to know I need to know the direction that he's going so that I can get in front of him and you know, just make it happen. I'm gonna pull out my Woodhaven mouth call here, V-cut Woodhaven mouth call. This is what got it done this morning. This bird, a raspy sounding bird, hen, the mountain turkeys usually sound like, is they sound raspy. Nothing, and that's how it goes sometimes. Public land man. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Drop me an email at publiclandman@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.